Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Now today I want to talk about a piece of photo editing software, and we're actually talking about DXO Photolab 9. It's a great piece of software. I'm going to actually go through some of the features on my computer here. I strongly recommend you download the 30-day free trial. There's no credit or debit card details needed. You literally provide your email address, you can download the trial version. It's fully functional, there's no restrictions, and you have 30 days to play with it. I'll leave a link in the description of this video where you can download the trial version, so go ahead and have some fun with it. Now, it's a great piece of software. I've been using it for about 10 days. Now, DXO have been very kind enough to supply activation keys for me so I can use all of their software, but they won't see this video any sooner than you guys and girls do, and they certainly have had no input in the making of this video. In fact, they were really adamant about the fact that I create it my own way and say what I want to say about it. They've had no input whatsoever. Now, it's a real great alternative to some of the other photo editing software, but particularly Lightroom. Lightroom is great. I think so many people use Lightroom, but you are stuck in this subscription model. And I really don't like that. Well, here in the UK, it's £14.99, 15 quid a month. So in a year, you're looking at around about 200 quid. Now this software, with my discount code, I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video as well, where you can download the trial version. If you do want to buy it, use my code AVP to get 15% off the purchase price. And that brings it down to roughly the same price as what you would pay for an annual's worth of subscription to Lightroom. But with Lightroom, you never own the software, so you're forever paying 15 quid a month. With this, you actually own the software, so once you've purchased it, you own it. You can use it for 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, whatever. So I think that is phenomenal. I think that's fantastic. Now, we're going to talk about some of the features in DXO Photolab. As I say, I'm no expert, and I'm not going to go through all the features. I strongly recommend you download the trial version. But let's go through some of the features. So here we go. I've got DXO Photolab loaded here. I've actually got it on my laptop as well, because one of the beautiful things with DXO Photolab, it doesn't use catalogues like Lightroom does. DXO just uses the file structure of the images you've put on your hard drive. So for example, all my photos are on a hard drive called Photo Masters. So if I bring that down, you can see here, I've got tons and tons and tons of folders with images in, with different camera bodies, different lenses, locations I've been to, and what have you. Now, the great thing is you don't have to go through that long list of folders, because all you need to do, if, for example, this folder here, the Canon 22mm, something you want to access regularly, you just add it to your favourites. Add that to my favourites, and then it'll be in my favourites. The other great thing is the software automatically downloads camera profiles, lens profiles, and corrections, optical corrections for that combination. Now that is incredible. It's all done automatically. You can see here it's popped up now because I've loaded that album, and you can see here it wants to download Canon EOS M6 Mark II with the EF-M22 lens, and you can download all, and that'll automatically correct those images with those profiles. And DXO have a lab in Paris where the guys and girls there are testing different cameras and different lenses all the time, so it's always up to date, and this is downloading off the internet, totally up to date, so you can have the very best optical corrections done automatically. You can do it manually if you want to as well, but I don't. I just click on download all, then that'll apply those corrections to those images. Absolutely great. As I say, now I've got them into favourites, I can access that folder nice and quickly, nice and easily, so I can now close that down, and that just makes that a lot tidier and makes it a lot more efficient to actually do your editing with. You can actually get rid of that tab on your left, or you can bring it back open. Also has projects. projects is basically the same as albums or collections in Lightroom. I think that is really, really handy. So if you have got a collection of edits, or you've edited, you know, a lot of images from one particular shoot and you want to separate them, you can create them in projects. For example, I've got a project called Edits. It's an album of edits, effectively. And that is all of them in one place. So the organising of this software, I think, is really, really good. Now, we go into the project edits, or we could actually, you know, say, go into any of these folders. And so as you add images to that folder, they'll automatically show up in DXO Photolab. But if we go into the edits, the editing features in DXO Photolab are extraordinary. They're really, really good. And we just look at a few. Now, these are images that I've been editing from lots of different folders. So I've put them into one project. Now, if we open this one here, I've created an X-pan crop of that image. So that wasn't originally like that. If we go into the crop mode, R for crop, you can see there, I've got the X-pan crop, and there it is. So all these edits are stored in a separate file called a DOP file, and it's a Photolab file that's attached to the image in that folder. So if you move that folder to another computer, you can still open those edits. I think that is incredible. I really do. I like that. I've got Photolab 9 on my laptop here. You can't move projects across to another computer because they're stored on the computer that you're editing your main images on. But if you've been editing images from a folder, so let's, for example, we look at the Fuji XE5 samples. Fujifilm XE5 samples here. We've got a whole load of XE5 samples here. Let's go to my favourites, 5-star ones, which aren't really my favourites. These aren't specifically great images, but you can see here, these will now appear on this other computer. I've copied that folder over to another hard drive, and those DOP files that was attached to the images go with those images and that folder. So when I open it up on another computer using DXO Photolab 9, all the edits will be there, everything is there. So for example, if we open this one here, which is of our rather infamous David John Murray tower. So let's open that up, or should I say rather derelict tower, but that's another story. And we look at the corrections that I've done. You can see here, it loads the corrections, it knows what they were, because I've done that on this computer here. So this one I've got set for going upwards and downwards, but it doesn't make any difference. So you can see there, look at under the bridge, that's all been highlighted. I've brought the shadow detail up, I've sorted out the clouds, I've reduced the contrast and brightness of the clouds. It just makes that looks really nice. But if I look at it on here, the same edits are showing up on here. It's identical because it's copied that file from one hard drive to another hard drive, and it's great, and it loads it up on DXO Photolab. So I've got two hard drives now with the same edits. Or you can use the same external hard drive and take that to another computer, and that will load you know, the same edits, because that DOP file goes with the image. I mean, that is fantastic. It's not stored in a separate database like it would be with Lightroom. It's stored with that image and it goes with it. And I think that is great. You've got all your adjustments here, which you would have in other software, laid out nicely. So it's got an intensity. Let's go to another image, actually. Let's go to the ones I've edited. So let's go to these ones here. Let's have a look at that one. So I've already edited that one. Again, we can compare. Let's compare that. You can see that's what it was originally like, and that's what I've edited. I've brought the sky out much deeper. The word debenhams is much stronger. It's sharper. So I've adjusted all the sharpness and what have you. You've got an intensity bar here where you can, it's automatic lighting. It's called smart lighting, and it's really clever because it adjusts everything automatically. I don't want to go too far because it just looks really false. Same here, it's got DXO Clear View Plus. That basically is a dehazer. So that's great if you're shooting into light. You can dehaze the image and you can increase the contrast. But you don't want to move that slider too far because, again, it looks false. It doesn't look very good. But it's great that it's there, that you can do you know, minor adjustments, and it looks fabulous. Really does look fabulous. Again, the color tab is great. You can adjust your white balance easily, and all the other features. It's got, you can download a DXO film pack so you can create different looks, and also DXO NK Nick collection. That is awesome, again, for creating different looks through an image. You've got all sorts of different effects. I'm going to look at that in a different video, not in this one. I'm literally just running through what you can do with this software. So you look at this, again, I've created that sort of X-Pan look. I really do like that look. That's the original image. That's what I've done. I've balled up the colours because that looks a bit flat and dull. I've balled up the colours, and I've also created a black and white version from the original version. You can see there. And also here I've adjusted, again, the brightness and contrast so we can see more of the sky. Absolutely fabulous. Now, the noise reduction in this software is outstanding. I've got quite a few samples here, actually. Now, this is a really, really old photograph I took in, I think, 2007. You can actually see what I took here. It's Command and I on a Mac, and it brings up the EXIF information, and that is brilliant. 1600 ISO, which is really high, and a Nikon D80. And that's a really old camera, 11 megapixel. I think it's an 11 megapixel files. It says, yeah, 11.2 megapixel sensor. So, you know, really, really old camera. But the DXO noise reduction is phenomenal. I mean, I'm just blown away by how good the noise reduction is. Certainly with old images, with any image. Particularly if you're in low light, we can have a quick look at how good this noise reduction is. You can see here that's how noisy it was. It's actually just loading what it's done. Look at that. Can you see the difference there? How clean that is compared to how it was. I mean, it's basically restored an image that I couldn't use, an unusable image, now into an image that I can use. That is phenomenal. That's in here, and it was Deep Prime XD3 that I used for that image. That comes loaded with DXO Photolab 9. Absolutely incredible. I love it. I take a lot of photographs in a museum, and this particular museum, a lot of the exhibits are in really dark conditions, so it's great that I can actually use that noise reduction. I'm not too concerned about what ISO I've got set, so that is phenomenal. Again, if we look at the before and after with this image, I've used local, look at that, dark as anything, and I brought it right up. I've used noise reduction to reduce the noise in the image, and that looks great. And it has got a fantastic locals corrections, what we call locals, and also it has AI features, which is fantastic. So you can adjust to certain sections of an image. So if we look at this image here, let's go out of that. Let's go into the local adjustment. So you see I've got a mask there. That is that mask was used. I just increased the contrast and brightness on his face, and then mask. We can actually rename that, so I could actually call that face, just so that I know, otherwise you get confused. And then that one, I just adjusted the roof to make it not so bright, brought the brightness down on that, so I could actually rename that one roof. That is really, really good. You can actually pick out, when you're using the AI tools, you can actually pick out here, use this to pick out a person or people. I don't know if it will because he's not a real person, but it did. There we go. So it has picked out the people, which is great. So you can actually use that, or you can use an area. You can pick the area tool and create an area that you want to work on. Let's say we want to work on this area here, so you can bring that down. Everything that goes red is the area that it will work on, and then you can adjust your exposure, brightness, contrast. You see that it's just making adjustments to that particular area. So very, very powerful and very easy. If I find it really easy, then it is really easy. I'm not an expert with photo editing, but I do really enjoy using this software. If we look at, say, this image here, what I done with this one. This was taken, I think it was the Royal Albert Museum in London. It was one of them, I'm not sure exactly which one. But look how beautiful that is. That's what I had to work with, and then that's what I've created. And I think that is great. And again, if you look at the noise reduction, it's just made that nice and smooth. Look, you can see there, that's after the event, before and after. Noisy, clean. Noisy, and then once that does its magic, it's clean as a whisper. Incredible, absolutely incredible. I know, as I can go on and on. If you look at this image here, now what was that shot at? ISO 12,800. 12,800 that was. So again, if we look at the noise reduction I've done on that, I've got it at 200%. So you can see it look clean, but it doesn't soften the image. It still creates a nice sharp image. You can also adjust the sharpness and all the other parameters while you're using the noise reduction feature. Really, really clever. Really do like it. And the fact that you can use any edits I do on this computer, as long as that DOP file goes with that image, you can edit it on another computer. So if you know somebody else is using DXO Photolab 9, you can even send them, upload them to the cloud, the images with the DOP files. They can carry on doing the editing that they want to do with it. So the collaboration is fantastic. It's actually groundbreaking, really, how a number of people can collaborate on either a set of images or just one image, where with Lightroom, very difficult with Lightroom because it's all catalogue based as opposed to file based. That's what I'm trying to get at. I think it's incredible. And, so on and so forth. So I'm not going to go on any more today. I think I've done enough to show, what this software is completely capable of. I suggest you download the trial version, have a little play with it. And if you do want to buy it, again, use my code AVP to get 15% off. And I'll leave all the links in the description of this video. Any questions you have regarding this software, please get in touch. I'm not an expert, but I do know the right people to be able to speak to if I don't have the answer, which I probably don't have the answer. Yeah, great fun to work with. And I say with a trial version, you've got 30 days to play with it. But I suggest you buy it, it's worth it. And it works out a lot cheaper than Lightroom in the long run. After 12 months, you paid for it. You've got no more to worry about. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the like button if you like the content of my videos. Would really, really appreciate that. And remember to share this video with others you think, you think might be interested in this software. That would be fantastic. So there we go. Thanks very much. Cheers for now. Bye.